Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fableheim and Iratus, Wrath of the Necromancer on Eternal Harvest 3. Today is the day. Today, we conclude our grim harvest. We're going to go full snack once again to go through here and up to the final 4 heroes of year. So we have 3 combats to get through before then. Thankfully today we're not going to be swapping around items and minions so my brain can't get all jumbled up. Sorry about that. I have been feeling a little under the weather, but I don't want to blame that. You can tell because I said 3, but they're actually 4 combats, but we'll just smash through them. And I have a special surprise for you all. They could be the dumbest thing I've ever done. But hey, it's in competition, I think. So, for our first combat, we have a Hoplite, Elite Monk, Adept, and Elite Healer. This looks familiar, doesn't it? And before we begin, we have a few things to do. First things first, I would like my mana back, please. Und thank you.
Skeleton will clean up this mess later.
Do we need to distill? I like the buff. Oh, we have the buff. Alright, no distilling required. No distillation required. Whoa. Welcome to Fableheim, Baumrus. Baumrus? Thanks. I forgot that was still there. It scares me every time one of you do that. But thank you. I appreciate you subscribing. I got totally derailed. Yes. I was looking at alchemy before I began recording, and there's a potion here called the Recovery Potion. Target minion restores 10% of their maximum vigor. Now, when I've seen this in the past, I've gone, well, 10% isn't a very big amount. And if we think about how the rest of the potions scale, well, the scaling is not horribly impressive. But it turns out that it is for the Recovery Potion. Because if we just throw in a green armor here, perhaps a green blood potion and a green flesh, well, would you look at that? That's a 40% heal. I should probably make that.
Perfection takes time and proper ingredients.
So we'll make this, and we'll have an extra failsafe, as 'twere. Now, for some science. I do love me some science. This science comes recommended by Solus, who mentioned that the Archmage's Pendant activates at the beginning of combat, which is at each round of combat, Iratus restores 5 mana. And he was curious. Would the Wrath items work the same way? So for example, the bloody... Sorry. Kuka is trying to get in here, so she's destroying my door at the moment. The Bloody Horn. Each round of combat, Iratus recovers 10 Wrath. And of course, the Spiked Rings. Each round, Iratus gains 12 Wrath. I don't know why they're worded differently. They both do the same thing. But we're going to find out if we'll have this at the beginning of combat for the first turn or not. You think I would have noticed because we've worn the Bloody Horn before, but we're going to wear them both. And if they both work, then we should have 62 Wrath to begin with, which is enough for good old Suflatus to off with their head to somebody. But we'll see. Maybe we'll only have 52, which isn't enough. Maybe we'll only have 50, which also isn't enough. We're going to find out together. I think that's it. These are all I want to talk about. Look at all of our blood phantasms just chilling here. Chilling like villains. I wish I could recycle them. You can dismiss them, but that's not recycling, right? Let's find out. Hi, Unfrozen. Parts, brain, and items will disappear forever. Alright. And by recycling them, I mean like throw them into, I don't know, a vat of oil and get the parts out of it or something. Break them down. Look at all of our wonderful artifacts. We have so many delectable parts. When a minion dies, all allies recover 75% of vigor. Fortunately, none of these are particularly useful. We'll stick with the Spirit Chainmail because McLaughly still needs 4 stacks. Blood Rain, I guess, could use any stacks we want. And we're fighting a monk, which means he don't care about blocks and wards. Anyway. So without further ado, let's go. To combat battle. Alright, you're an elite monk, right? Yeah, you are. We are sitting on 62 Wrath, so congratulations, Solus. As always, you were correct. I've just learned to not doubt you. So that's good to know for the future. And I mean, even for this battle, it's helpful, but As always, our strategy here is going to be very simple. Because the Hoplite has a 100% chance to redirect from the monk, we are going to kill the Hoplite in one turn using our wonderful strategy. Of course, the monk can reach through block and ward, but he's not going to hit Mictlantecuhtli because he's going to hit good old Blood Rain. Additionally, because Mictlantecuhtli has scaled to the heavens and beyond, Scott pointed out that it's probably not worth using Disfiguring Flurry over Terror Blast because that 2 more hits means 4 more debuffs, and I'm pretty sure that 4 more debuffs scales more from Mictlantecuhtli's than the 46 armor here is going to mitigate. So we're just going to hit him with this.
Perish!
And we're going to see what Mictlantecuhtli does with that information. And we're going to decide how to move forward after that. Yep, that's about what I thought. That's about what I expected, honestly. So then we fingered at you. Because we don't have the shackles, he was inspired and become mighty. But you know what? We don't really care. I love it when a plan comes together. So yeah, that was that. Now that the hard part of this battle is out of the way, we can protect Blood Rain, and I can share with you a wonderful, creative tale that someone left last episode. This is a parody of Revenge of the Sith, which probably the best Star Wars movie. It's up there. It's up there. We'll just leave with that. And the reason it's about the Adept. Last time, besides many mistakes that I made, the Adept, who I've always made fun of, and even now I'm leaving him last because I'd rather kill the healer. The Adept did a number on us, beating the crap
from those you defended
out of Karnania II. And so, a famous scene between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. Well, the last time Anakin Skywalker fought Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is what Evangelos Papa Mixael came up with. It's over, Adept. I have the high resistance and ward. You underestimate my power. Don't try it, Adept. And he used the meteor shower, and it hurt like a bitch. Ow. And then he fireballed me. It was very rude. Ugh. You were the chosen one. You were meant to be weak, to balance out the 6th floor, not join the other overpowered heroes. I hate you. You belittled me. You never made me the priority. I'm gonna burn this. I'm interrupting my acting, but goodbye, sweet prince. Gonna delay. You were my lowest competition, Adept. I loved you. That love was as hollow as your expectations of me. But at least all of your subscribers will see the scars you now bear and know that it was I who dealt them. I modified it a little bit, a tiny bit, just to keep it shorter. But if you would like to see the whole thing, it was good. I liked it a lot. And it is underneath my pinned comment in the last episode.
Your frail bodies fail you.
So thank you for sharing your creative parody of that. Fun fact, great minds think alike. But I've been thinking,
this world will be mine.
I always make my own custom introductions for series, you know, using other things that exist. And one idea that I have is to use the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise as an introduction. But obviously tilt it for good old Iratus. So I'm thinking about how I can do that. Have some plans. Some plans are in place. I guess we're getting rid of the bride thing now. And the wizard bones, sure. Whatever. So, we liked that, didn't we? We liked how the rage items work. I liked how the rage items work, especially since I'm going to use it right meow. Soufflatus, I guess we're going to try and get max resistance. Max resistance. For Blood Rain. Sure, have some evasion, why not? Karnania the Third. Third of his name. Last of his kin. De battle. They don't really have a consumable to use, and I'm pretty much just going to Finger of Death the Ronin. Ruin his day. Oh, I should have changed that, shouldn't I? And maybe we don't need to.
This never gets old.
It never does. It never does. So yeah, as I promised, we're going to be riding this straight to the end. All the way to glorious victory. Well, to the last boss. There, I'll say that.
Ah, your frail bodies fail you.
I have a secret plan. You're pretty freaking rude. Wow. That's 4 block. That's a lot of block. You're not in your stance, so I'm actually going to take the opportunity to do this. Since she is not stanced at the moment. You know, her shoot you if you move sort of thing. So I figured I'd take this opportunity to ruin her day just a tiny bit more. Oh, I need to put the Plague Doctor down here in a minute. Am I going to do that now? What do you do? But it's kind of annoying. But the Plague Doctor, I really don't want him to do his thing. You know the thing. You know the thing. But I also don't want him to remove all my debuffs, so I'm in a bit of a pretty pickle here. Well, a pickle of inconvenience, really. And the funny thing is I can
Your frail bodies fail.
Fix that whenever I want. Okay. Now back to this problem. We could just Finger of Death the Amazon, but is that really worth it? Is it really? I'm pretty sure I'm just going to attack you until you die.
There will still be enough left to reanimate.
I mean, that's how this always goes, right? Punch the enemy until they fall over.
Wait within flames.
Okay. I feel pretty happy. Was that a crit? You're trying to flee? Craven dog. No. Good job, Blood Rain. You got a stack.
My will is a tide that will wash away your pathetic civilization.
Imprisoned souls. McLaughton Kirtley has gained a rank. Oh, I hope we need 2 more levels. Then we'll be sextuple maxed. Not that one. Curvets. I require assistance. Show me... I mean, what do we even need anymore? Do we need anything? Not really. I feel pretty good. Leg cuffs. It's probably going to be sacrificed, honestly.
Fetching.
Oh, let's spend a talent point. Because I want this.
Ooh, this will do nicely.
This, in case you're wondering, Indiscriminate Fire, Iratus receives 50 spell power if there are 2 or fewer minions left on the battlefield. This is a special tool that'll help us later.
And so my dark powers return to me.
Spine Bomb, this is an interesting spell. I hate... using interesting is kind of like a cop-out, right? But it is an interesting spell. It's unique of its kind in that it sets a trap at the target enemy position that explodes in 2 rounds, dealing 50 plus magic damage to any foe in that position. It scales with the same spell power rate as Crush Bones, which, as I mentioned before, is the highest scaling spell attack in the game. So for 15 mana, you get a super scaling ability, but it has like a setup time. So I guess if you try and think ahead, you could probably get use out of it, but it's still pretty tricky. Okay. Who's it gonna die? It's gonna be the Ronin. Now excuse me while I take your sword.
Brave are an excellent source of fresh corpses.
Oh, what was it? Okay, so a Ronin, this is how it goes, right? A Ronin is a samurai without a master, right? That's how this works? Because I remember in Japanese history, there was a time when the Emperor of Japan was the ruler, but then there was a rebellion, and the military basically took over, and they tried to confiscate everyone's swords.
Don't know why? There's no sun up in the sky. Bony weather incoming.
Right? Because there was a time where, like, Japan was all splintered and whatnot.
Ooh, hope there will still be enough left to reanimate.
And if you were rich, you hired samurai to protect you. And if you were poor, you were just kind of SOL. Ow! It's funny. He blew up because he attacked Bloodrain with who has the Mark of Vengeance on her. Feels good. I don't really want to move because I'll hit this trap. That's how that traps work, right? I'm pretty sure it's how it works. I could just delay here. Yeah. Well, Hail of Teeth delay.
Don't know why? There's no sun up in the sky. Bony weather incoming.
Hearing Iratus sing is always a pleasure. Son of a... Okay.
Toss them in with the rest.
I killed Suflatus. Yep, I killed Suflatus.
Make them suffer.
Because that makes the that makes the thing even funnier. Because I basically always ignored the Adept's feature, which is deal like 20 magic damage when he dies.
Death predestined.
And it was just enough to kill Suflatus.
My kingdom comes.
So what should I have done there? Waited? Let's see. If I didn't kill the Adept, Suflatus would have gone, or the stun would have gone off, so then Suflatus could have acted. I'd probably have to delay until Karnania could ward him? And then do something? Huh. Interesting. So you want the good news or the bad news? The good news is we have a second hourglass. The bad news is that we don't
Extinction of life.
have a second essence of mind. So...
You know, if this keeps up, I'll be done purging the world ahead of schedule.
I was just about to say, so if we don't get the essence of mind back, we can't regenerate our mana the way that we were. Do I have a Reaper? I don't think I have any more Reaper names. Sorry, the music disappeared while I opened this up real quick. My creation list. Okay, and we are back with another name suggested by Shazakil, and that is Azazel. Azazel is a fallen angel, just like all of Shazakil's name recommendations. And Azazel, to him is ascribed all sin. He taught men the art of warfare, and women the art of deception. And the Reaper, of course, is an ancient, primal power that perhaps predates necromancy itself. And thus I figured it was appropriate. Now, because we don't have another Essence of Mind, unfortunate, we are going to be using the Funeral Coin, finally. This increases the critical damage dealt by 30% and reduces the critical damage received by 30%. Our characters have a knack of being crit, unfortunately. So this does provide us some defense. Additionally, whenever we use Fate, this will provide some offense. I picked everything the same, except I think with Drain I went to Desiccate. This makes it so it ignores block and ward instead of forcing enemies to be insane or inspired. So yeah, slightly weaker, but not the end of all things. It is now quite unfortunate. Unfortunate, as the kids say, that the Spirit Spear and Spirit Chainmail stacks are lost. But hey, I'm kind of over it, honestly.
Behold my work.
If I can beat the game with no Spirit Spear and no Spirit Armor, I don't need them to win.
Finally, this item finds its way into my capable hands.
So we're going to unequip the Spirit Chainmail. We're going to put on the Unstable Armor, which is our go-to safety net, and we're going to go to this quest. Now, I only know of one quest in the entire Symmetry, and that quest we did last time. So I would hope that this quest is not also the Grave Robbing quest. But we're going to find out. Also, Iratus might have survived if I had the Unstable Armor equipped and wasn't trying to be a greedy little boy. So, you know, greed is good until it's bad. I think we found the line. But anyway, any sufficiently large graveyard has a gravedigger, but you did not expect to stumble upon this decrepit shell of a man, someone who is both blind and deaf, crawling on the ground with a shovel in his grasp and hands and knees so black with dirt they seem like they have been dunked in ink. You were about to simply pass the old fool by in disgust when, among his incoherent mumbling, you hear him mutter something resembling necromantic incantation. You decide to investigate this broken creature, and you discover that the local gravedigger is a mad necromancer, forced to live like this after losing everyone else in his life. While his mind may be gone, there is still knowledge to be gleaned. So, our options. We can attempt to communicate with him. It is hard to say if this will be worth your while. Yeah. Dissect him for parts. All necromancers sooner or later replace parts of their living bodies with unliving flesh, or we can feed him to our minions. A quick and easy way to expend a necromancer for temporary benefit. Considering that we're actually low on parts, I'm quite tempted to dissect them. I've dissected a frog before. It's a very common thing in the States. Or at least it was. I don't know if they still do that. But anyway, let's attempt to communicate with him. I'm ignoring my better decision here, which is to dissect him, and we go in. We go in. The mad sometimes have good advice.
I'll take it as tribute.
The gravedigger flails his shovel around wildly and wails like a wounded animal. After realizing that he would not be of use to you, you put him down. Should have dissected him. See, I told you. My gut knew the answer. And yet, I resisted. Like a fool. Double justice and elite Amazon. Okay. I'm thinking. We just go kill them, right? Like, there's no advanced strategy here. We just give them the 1 and the 2 and the why are you slow? Oh, you don't have max initiative. That would be one. That's fine. The justices aren't fast either. So you're getting... yeah.
Death.
Uno. Dos.
This is my kind of entertainment.
Okay. Now that that's over. You can come up here to... I was gonna say, make Lantaku can come up and start eating the blocks, but I guess he doesn't have to. We can delay. It might be in my interest to actually try and restore mana now.
Don't know why? There's no sun up in the sky. Bony weather in...
I thought about that too when I was picking the augmentation for Azazel's Q, because he actually has a pretty good ability, or pretty good upgrade paths. One of them is the one that I like a lot, which is it restores additional wrath, but you can also get one that restores additional mana, which without the Essence of Mind might actually be a good idea.
Savor these last few heartbeats.
But hey, what do I know? I already picked it. Losing the Essence of Mind was quite unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. I'm just taking it all in stride, you know? What else can you do? Nothing. Nothing else. Cut and trampled.
This will be your end.
I guess we could ask the Dark Gods to bestow us a gift. One final gift for their loyal servant. But I highly doubt they'd answer. Oh, this doesn't scale with... Oh, I thought it's damage increase, but it looks like it's just mana cost. Interesting. Well, it's free, so let's give it a smack.
Don't know why? There's no sun up in the sky. Bony weather incoming.
I even get to hear about his sing. We do have more powerful physical attacks, but I really have minimal interest in spamming those out right now.
Now that's gonna leave a mark.
That's gonna leave a mark. Indeed. I said I don't have any regrets, but I do wish I dissected that Necromancer now.
A sad display for mortal kind.
The Fallen Dampier item. And without further ado, experience for our minions and the heroes of yoke. They are upon us. Alright. I am going to go prepare the entertainment for the evening. Okay, and we are ready to take on the final boss. But before that, I must ask, are you ready for some entertainment? For you see, I've been holding on to a little secret for some time. I have no idea if it's going to work, but we are going to meme our way through the last boss. Or at least, give it the good old college try. How are we going to do that? With a Dark Knight, of course. The Memescendant. This, I must give complete credit to Iratus. This is entirely his idea, and I'm just going to see if it's going to work. Now, the way... First of all, don't try this at home, because as you can see, we are super low on parts now. But the idea behind the Memescendant is that with the Cannibal's Jaw and the Boiling Blood, the Memescendant will gain so many stats when he is alone that, hopefully, the last boss cannot do anything to him. Now, traditionally, or the original suggestion here from Iratus would have had triple bone golems with us so that I could blow them up to get the benefit of the Cannibal Jaw and the Boiling Blood. But unfortunately, as you can see, we don't have the parts to make 3 bone golems, and I'm not going to throw away Karnania III for the lulz. Because if this doesn't work, we have to have some plan, don't we? So instead, we'll be using our 3 blood phantasms that we found along the way. And they will be using... Well, they'll be removing blocks for the Memescendant, but they will also be using the Grand Transfusion to redirect attacks from the Memescendant to themselves in order for them to die. I basically have the same build for all of them. Torment Eternal, Moaning Chains, Mark of Vengeance, Grand Transfusion, Phantasmal Blitz, and Savage Impale. And I didn't give them any block and ward because that's the strategy to beating the last boss, I think. And we're going to find out if it truly is. To emphasize even more the armor and resistance, I am wearing the Enchanted Clothing to give minions +4 armor and +4 resistance, and the Talisman of Power to give minions 2 attack, 2 dread, 2 armor, and 2 resistance. The Ring of Purity is equipped. This unlocks a secret magic spell that removes all buffs from an enemy and restores 5 mana for each buff removed. Spell power reduces its cost, so it's currently costing 7 mana. If we can remove 2 buffs, then we get more mana back than we spent. We have the Destruction Maul equipped. At the start of combat, all enemies lose 1 block and 1 ward, because I've been told these guys start with a lot of stuff. And the Ober Vulnerability. At the start of combat, all enemies lose 1 block and 1 ward. One-time use. Is this dumb? Maybe. Am I excited? Absolutely.
It's no goal, but it will do.
So, with that, let's get ready to slam. No. This one. That's this. Let's get ready to meme on the final boss. Boy, this is going to be weird. Oh, I should talk about your stats, more importantly. So we have max attack, max health, max armor, max resistance, and I got some accuracy. I have 2 points. I guess I can spend them in initiative, sure, whatever. As I mentioned, the main point with the final boss here, the final boss is terrifying. But we've killed him before, them before. And we learned, while we were doing that, that the armor and resistance of Mordred gave him remarkable survivability compared to the non-existent armor and resistance of Osiris. So, I'm hoping that we can amplify that even more and basically make the Memescendant immune to anything the enemies can do. So let's see if our idea was correct. If this fails, we fall back on our tried and true team, and if they fail, well, let's not think about that, shall we? The armies of the risen heroes lie broken and vanquished behind the arch-necromancer and his shambling horde. Victory so close that he can almost taste it. But, as so often is the case, one last obstacle has manifested before him. An all too familiar obstacle. 4 faces, 4 sets of weapons drawn against him, forged and tempered to ensure his defeat. The 4 exalted heroes of yore come to battle their ancient enemy once more. History will indeed repeat itself on this day, but the outcome is not set in stone. The time has come for a brutal reckoning, and afterwards, they shall call him master. Alright, here we go. So if you have never seen this fight, that's new. If you have never seen this fight before, here we go. As it said, there are 4 heroes, all of them doing different things. We have the elven hero, the elf hero. She actually has a lot more damage than she did last time, 45 to 48. They have 6,000 50 vigor and sanity shared between themselves. They do not escape. Oh, the elf. Okay, the elf ignores armor and resistance. I don't think that was the case before. Has shared vigor and sanity with the other heroes, acts twice in a turn, deals 40% damage to all minions each time Iratus casts a spell. This could be really bad then. The dwarven hero ignores block, as the rest of the stuff. After each miss, increase the accuracy of all heroes and buffs their damage by 5% until the end of combat. The paladin hero, whenever a minion attacks this character, it is dealt 50% physical damage and interrupts stances. And the mage hero does not escape, ignores ward, has shared vigor, blah blah, acts twice in a turn, and deals 50% damage to a minion whenever it moves. So if you're thinking to yourself right now, the elf hero is going to kill you. Well, yes and no. Yes and no. That's why I have these. So, how do we want to begin? I can eat this ignition. It doesn't heal me or anything, but I can eat it. We also have Stoke the Flames for a flat damage reduction, but I kind of want to wait for that one. We might do nothing turn 1. Oh, actually, I have an idea. Oh, let me send it. I have a plan. And it's a great plan. Alright, so the Grand Transfusion here should trigger. I'm going to do this.
Death.
This will trigger this. We absorbed. And the Grand Transfusion procced. We're going to... This. Let's get our mana back. Thing 2 can begin the ignition of the enemies.
Give them no mercy.
Moved, so we're trying to kill them as soon as possible, by the way. Our blood phantasms, that is. Like, I want them to die. You interrupted my stance, bro. That's not cool. What's this do? That's fine. I mean, it's okay. It's not great. Actually, if I attack... Let's watch this. Yep. Counter me, I dare you. Kill them all. Yes. Let's see how this unfolds.
I suppose I can craft a few hundred more.
I suppose I can craft a few 100 more. Boop.
Revenge for me.
See, even without putting any points in armor and resistance, the blood phantasms are still just absorbing a ridiculous amount. Right, so we have one Cannibal Jaw stack, 24 attack, 24 dread. The Boiling Blood is also in effect because we're sitting at 30 armor and 28 resistance. Wish I could interrupt this stance. That is mildly problematic. Actually, I can, can't I? I use this one. Boop. Nah. Alright, let's smack the Mage Hero, shall we? Oh, yeah. What was that? Don't know. Is it a trap that I can use to kill my minions? That sounds fun. Yes. Set me on fire. You know you want to. I am thinking.
You will soon embrace your new existence.
Yep, the Cannibal Jaw can be removed. That's some rank bullshit, that is. I suppose the good news... The good news is the Boiling Blood can't be removed. It's interesting how some of these abilities, or some of the elf's abilities, do ignore, and some of them don't. I'm gonna have to use this. Which isn't the greatest thing in the world. Not the end of the world either. So this is the Dark Knight's Wrath ability.
More will come.
I'm now alone. And it is unique in that you can never improve its damage. It will always deal 12 or 15, or 35 depending on what you did. We took the one upgrade path that made it deal 15 to all enemies. Bruh, really? Fine. You wanna play this game? I can play this game.
Rivers will run red.
Using the ancient vampire blood, we now heal. Unfortunately, you can... Yeah, remove that. Yeah. I'm surprised he's still dealing damage to me. This hurts a lot more than I thought it would. But hey. There's some health back. Stare into the abyss. And become stronger. So 30 resistance isn't enough to not take damage from the mage. It's pretty impressive, actually. This debuff really hurts. I thought they'd have more buffs, honestly, which is why I made the Potion of Denial, but they don't seem to have any. I think I'm gonna die. Darn it. I don't think there's a way to make this work anymore, because their attacks ignore armor and resistance. That's a good idea, though. The elf is just too annoying. I don't know if 40% is enough to get me to live. Let's see. I can't crit this, right? It's just always 15. I have a lot of spell power, and I don't know how exactly. Oh, right, the thing. The talent I picked up. Duh. Oh. I'm curious if this will work. Oh, I don't have enough mana. I was wondering if Rain of Gore would amplify my damage, but I think I'm just dead. Well, this is an interesting attempt. We learned a valuable lesson, I would say. Yeah, I would need to kill... I would need to somehow stop the elf. I think I can retreat here, can't I? Nope.
Death has been denied.
I got both the items back. Really? Really? Both of them back. Alright, well. I'm pretty sure all I need is mana potions and I can just win. So actually that was really a really good strategy for dealing with just about everything else. It's only the lady that gets really strong. So, let's take our real team in and give it a shot, shall we? I don't have enough points for... Yeah, I don't have a heart or anything. So I have some resistance, Azrael. Not Azrael, Azazel. They're two different things, you know. Alright. I need a calcinate. And I'll make some potions of some kind.
Skeleton will clean up this mess later.
Okay. I made one potion, one singular potion, and I actually think I'm going to keep a lot of this. I really liked his performance. Of course, ignoring the elf. So the enchanted clothing, 4 armor, 4 resistance. The talisman of power, 2 attack, 2 dread, 2 armor, 2 resistance. The destruction maul, we don't have any more orbs, so we're going to be using the spider web to remove their initiative. And we are going to keep the spiked rings equipped for 12 wrath each turn, because of course, Azazel, Bloodrain, both very wrath, hungry individuals. I could have put on the Ring of Decay, but I think the spiked rings is going to go farther. So here we go. I did calcinate and distill. We have those buffs a-rolling. And we're just going to hope that this is enough to bring it home to the very end. My dear creations. Let's show them how we do it. Okay, you have a lot more stuff. Actually, no, you don't. It just looks like it. Alright. Same thing. Same stuff.
Death.
Difference this time. Yeah, see that attack? This attack doesn't ignore armor and resistance. That's actually hilarious. So you might be wondering, what is your plan this time? Well, we have picked out a singular enemy. And we're gonna give it the merc. It's gonna die. It's gonna die a painful day. That's because, of course, the mage hero cannot remove debuffs from himself. So we're going to abuse that all the way home. The one potion I did craft was the potion of leprechaun. You know, I've never shot a leprechaun. If I shoot it, do you think it'll bleed Lucky Charms? The Dead Leprechaun Potion. Target minion gains 19 luck and 19 plus crit damage. Who's going to be critting, you ask? I think we all know the answer to that. But I'll give you a hint.
Carve open their husks.
It's an old god.
Death predestined.
Of death. Yes. 1925. New record. Alright, Dwarf, I get it. You don't like the dude on a horse. It's fine. Just because you can't reach him doesn't mean you need to punch him. Well, that was kind of annoying. Actually, no, it wasn't. Just kidding. Now that's really annoying. Do I have a way I can deal with this? It's like I saw that coming. I didn't, but it's like I did. Any last
Your
words?
frail bodies fail you.
You craven dog. That's it? Okay. That's about what I thought. Goodbye. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye. Farewell. I don't know how the song goes.
Mine is the winning side.
What's the matter, Mum? Was it the eye? That, and he just ruined the sound of music for me. I can't believe we got this at the very end. 2 items we haven't seen this entire run. Right here at the very end. The Nails of Pain increases crit damage dealt by 20%, reduces crit damage received by 20%. This is basically the worst version of the Funeral Coin, which we do actually have equipped on Azazel right now, even though I didn't use it. And the Coward's Foot. The minion performs an additional action in round 1. This could have been used by Mictlantecuhtli to great terror, really. Because imagine, the Crow's Paw plus the Ashes, and then 2 turns of chain slapping. What's going to survive that? Nothing. Also, I did get the humanoid token, which means, Solus, your theory is correct, which means I have to do this 2 more times. So yeah, you'll get the humanoid token for whichever one of these 4 you kill. So we've killed the Dwarven hero, the Dawe, and the Mage hero. Always reserved and enigmatic, the mage of the party possessed truly prodigious magical talent. Ever secretive about the source of his knowledge, he seemed an outsider even in the band, and after Iratus was defeated, did not partake in the celebrations. Instead, he began building for the future, preparing and training others, claiming the Necromancer might one day return. It's a son. If only I could be so grossly incandescent. Alright. Yeah, he just removes buffs all the time. Freaking annoying. But anyway. That was it. We did it again. And it wasn't even close. Much. It was a little close, okay. It was a little close. Miklantakutli. The sex tuplet max. You love to see it. You just love to see it. Azazel, also known as Suflatus. And Leparka, who was here. Don't forget Leparka. The Reaper is just so good. He's so strong. And synergizes incredibly well with the Finger of Death. Essence of Mind, of course. So there's not enough praise I can give the Reaper. I finally made this happen. The 6th floor is what it took to make the strongest build in the game. Well, the strongest centerpiece of a build. You can build this in a number of ways, but you need these, at least the ashes, and then the, you can set an ignition build on fire. Bananas. And of course, Karnania the Third, third of his name. Karnania, we learned a lot actually thanks to Karnania. But most importantly, the block and ward provided by the Bone Golem as indispensable as ever. So you might be wondering, what are our plans moving forward? Well, I'll talk about them after we see the cinematic. Although I will say, quite briefly, Max, that I am going to do Eternal Harvest 5. And if I've learned anything from Eternal Harvest 3, it's that I'm not allowed to do experimentation. Hey, look. What comes after sextuple? Septuple? Is that 7? Septuple max. So in Eternal Harvest 5, we're pretty much going to be sticking with what I know, and that's about it. Minimal experimentation, unless we get like the pieces that make some really funky builds work that I didn't get this run or last run. But yeah. Thank you, Miklantakutli, Azazel, Bloodrain, and Karnania III for being here at the very end of our tale.
Well, that was quite fun, but it was merely an appetizer. Have stirred my anger, and I will come for you with an army beyond counting. Abandon all hope, ye who oppose me. For I am Iratus, Lord of the Dead.
Dun 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 dun! And that, my friends, is the end of yet another successful series. We've done well. We have done well. I was looking at the achievements that I'm still missing, because I want all the achievements for this game. And, the achievement, one of the achievements I don't have, there's like 9 I think I'm missing, 9 or 8. One of them is to lose a series. Or, to lose a run. Like, I've canceled one of the series I ended prematurely because I was basically done, but I've never officially lost. Isn't that quite the record? Never officially losing. But on that note, there will be another run in a week or so, depending on how long it takes for me to figure it all out. But it'll be on Eternal Harvest 5, the most challenging difficulty in the game, full of absolute bullshit. So because of that, we're pretty much going to be running straight out of the gate with the build that I like starting with now. The Bone Golem, Black Widow, Reaper, Blood Phantasm. That's the order from front to back. And once again, depending on what pieces we'll get, on the 3rd floor we'll transition to try and find a stable build. That seems to work out well for me. And I mean, if it doesn't, we could probably just keep rolling with that build. It's a pretty solid foundation, I think. And, yeah. There won't be too much experimentation, like I said, unless we get, like, the Coward's Foot you can do some really cheeky stuff with, and that would be fun. But other than that, we're pretty much just going to stick with what we know, so it won't be the most diverse run in the world, but it's going to be a run focused on winning. That's it. We're here to win. The science has already been done. We've conducted many experiments, the most noble of goals. And unless there's something really pressing, we'll be using the next run to win. Permanently. That's a weird thought, isn't it? It's glowing. Why is the start button glowing? Ah, isn't it beautiful? Eternal Harvest 1, Eternal Harvest 3, and next is 5. You might be wondering what happens if we fail on Eternal Harvest 5. Well, we restart on Eternal Harvest 4 as a penalty for losing. And hopefully I can use that to stamp out any kinks and any errors that we found along the way, and then we'll go back to Eternal Harvest 5. And then we'll pretty much be done. I might do like a stream of like a Good Always Wins run for funsies. So if you have any random weird composition ideas, hold those for the future. But yeah, that is the plan. In the meantime, we of course have our Haven series. I love that game so much. We have our Haven series going on, and there will be a game returning because it currently has a new mode in testing. It's a game that I got a lot of fun out of. For like $17, I got like almost 60 hours out of it, so I'm looking forward to playing it again. And hopefully, you will all enjoy its new Ascension mode. And then Iratus will return for the most challenging run yet. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I appreciate you sticking through with the series, and I will see you in the future. Bye-bye.